I've always been a guy who values respect, especially when it comes to time and attention. If I'm spending my evening with someone, I expect both of us to be present. Sadly, my last date proved to me that not everyone shares this sentiment. What started as a promising evening turned into one of the most bizarre nights of my life. Let me walk you through how her obsession with texting and eventually answering a call from her ex completely backfired on her. We matched on a dating app, and after a week of chatting, we decided to meet. She seemed smart, funny, and genuinely interested in getting to know me. Let's call her Sarah. We settled on dinner at a cozy Italian restaurant downtown. I made the reservation, dressed well, and showed up with the hope that this might lead to something meaningful. Sarah arrived about 10 minutes late. Not a big deal, traffic happens. But as she sat down, her eyes were glued to her phone. She barely acknowledged me, mumbled a quick apology for being late, and started typing furiously. I assumed she was wrapping up something important and let it slide. We ordered our drinks and she finally put her phone down for about 2 minutes. Then it was back in her hand. At first, I thought she might be checking work emails or dealing with some family issue. But then she started giggling. "Sorry," she said, "my friend just sent me the funniest meme." Okay, not work or family, just memes. Fine. As the evening progressed, her phone never stayed out of her hand for more than a few minutes. She'd glance at the screen, type something, giggle, and then look up at me with a half-hearted "sorry about that." I was starting to feel like the third wheel to her and her phone. I tried to steer the conversation back to us. "So, what made you choose teaching as a career?" She looked up briefly, smiled, and said, "Oh, I just love working with kids." Then her phone buzzed again and she was right back at it. I sipped my wine, silently debating whether to say something or just let it go. Midway through our entrees, her phone buzzed with a call. She glanced at the screen and, to my astonishment, actually answered it. "Hey, what's up?" she said, smiling. I assumed it must be urgent, maybe a family emergency or something equally serious. But no. "Oh my God, you did not just say that." She laughed into the phone. I could hear a male voice on the other end. Her tone was playful and flirty. I stared at her, fork frozen in midair, as she carried on this conversation for a full 3 minutes. Finally, she hung up and looked at me with a sheepish grin. "Sorry about that. That was my ex. We're still really good friends." Now, I'm not the kind of guy to get jealous easily, but answering a call from your ex in the middle of a date? That's just disrespectful. I decided then and there that this date was over, but I wasn't about to leave quietly. "You know," I said, leaning back in my chair, "it's clear you have other priorities tonight. Maybe we should just call it?" She looked surprised. "What do you mean?" "I mean, you've been on your phone more than you've been present with me. You even took a call from your ex. I think it's best if we end this here." She tried to backpedal. "Oh, come on, don't be like that. It was just a quick call." "It's not just the call," I said. "It's the entire evening. I came here to get to know you, but it feels like I'm competing with your phone." She seemed genuinely shocked, as if she hadn't realized how much she'd been on her phone. But here's the kicker. Instead of apologizing, she got defensive. "Well, if you can't handle me having a life outside of this date, maybe you're not the right guy for me." "You're absolutely right," I replied, grabbing my jacket. "Good luck finding someone who's okay with being ignored." I left her sitting there, stunned. As I walked out, I felt a mix of frustration and relief. Frustration because the evening had been a waste of time, and relief because I dodged a bullet. A few days later, I got a text from her. "Hey, I've been thinking about our date, and I realize I wasn't as present as I should have been. Can we try again?" I thought about it for a minute before replying. "I appreciate the apology, but I think we're looking for different things. Take care." Sometimes, people need a wake-up call to realize how their actions affect others. Hopefully, Sarah learned something from that evening. As for me, I've been on a few dates since, and I always make it clear that mutual respect and attention are non-negotiable. Life's too short to waste on people who can't put their phones down for dinner. The lessons I took away from that night reinforced my belief that everyone deserves to feel valued and respected, especially in the intimate setting of a date. Moments like these are supposed to build connections, not highlight the gaps that make them impossible. While I was annoyed, I was also grateful that her behavior revealed so much so quickly. It saved me from investing more time in a situation where respect was one-sided. These experiences might sting in the moment, but in the long run, they teach us what we're willing to accept and where our boundaries should lie. If nothing else, this strange evening has given me a story to share and a better understanding of what I truly want in a partner. Someone who knows how to be present, values mutual respect, and understands the importance of putting their phone aside for an evening.